The Gazette. Not only the most popular visual K band, along with X Japan on Dorian Gray, but one of the most popular metal bands from Japan, period. A band that's done so many styles and went through so many phases from hardcore pop punk to new metal to industrial metal to alternative metal and now metalcore and a plethora of other genres, by the way. They have built a very dedicated fan base over the last 17 years, and about 80% of that fan base is female. Unless you live in Japan, then it's more like 90. And yes, we were talking about a full-fledged metal band. Not a post-hardcore or metalcore group that's just a glorified boy band with like down-tuned chugs. We're talking metal. Even the attitude of the band. Yes, that was name dropped for one of their songs called Attitude. It's metal. In the Gazette's music, they have covered a lot of emotions, from rage to sadness to fear to love. And love is the one we'll be talking about today as I count down my top 13 Gazette songs about love. Why 13? I don't know, because the Gazette have an obsession with the number. Project Dark Age started on the 13th anniversary, the 13th anniversary live special, the song 13 Stairs. A lot of their songs reference 13 as part of the lyrics. You get the idea. Now for qualifications. The song does not need to be about romance, but love in general. Also songs that are already on the basis of a relationship, of a couple, like, you know, a couple that are together romantically, those songs will also qualify for the list. That's why this video is going to have that weird title. We're talking about love, not lust here, so songs like Fadeless or Swallowtail on Death Valley will not be on the list. The songs don't need to be happy. Some songs can be bittersweet, even tragic, and since this is the Gazette, spoiler, a lot of this list is going to be tragic. Furthermore, this list is my personal opinion. I would like to hear what your favorite Gazette love song is down below. Of course, I'll be sure to say my favorite lyrics for each song, and with that out of the way, let's get started. Number 13, Tokyo Shinjeiru, also translated as Lover Suicide in Tokyo. The first song on my list comes from the Gazette's first album, Disorder. This song is about a couple who is starts off living on their own because they fall in love and want to be together. They run away from home to live together in Tokyo. From the lyrics, I'm assuming it's because their parents disapprove their relationship and things don't go as planned. And they are in poverty, despite the fact that they both support each other and are deeply in love. So after 13 months, their obsession with the number 13 has been there since the beginning of the band, apparently. They commit suicide together by jumping off a high bridge and into a lake. Now, this song is interesting to me because the lyrics themselves kind of play out this like a story. Even it has some spoken parts that sound like samples of a movie throughout the song. The song is highly recommended if you're into pop punk or something with an underground like mix edge to it. For me, the lyrics that stood out to me were at the end. Closing our eyes, we face an Arctic cold ocean. The both of us together, our linked hands were inseparable. You and I became nothing. 13 years I spent with you. A lot has happened, hasn't it? We live together, so I can know that well. You are tired from working too hard, aren't you? It's alright because I will always be with you. I'm sorry, father, mother. I can't live without this person. I'm sorry for making you both worry. Sorry, sorry. Number 12. Uncertain Sense. A B-side to Vortex, one of the many singles for Toxic. It's a song written from the point of view of someone who's died and they're watching their loved one struggle with the grief of their death. This song should have been on Toxic, to be honest, with Toxic being the Gazette's weakest album. Not saying it's a bad album, just now with a lot of filler. It would have been a lot better with this song on it, as well as other ones. Before Decay, Remember the Urge, Clever Monkey, True Murderous Intent. Anyways, this song was a song that honestly took me some time to grow on me before I liked it. However, that second verse is a massive earworm for me. Something about the flow of the singing and screaming is satisfying, especially when the line ends right before a guitar riff. This is a song I recommend for people who like bands like Skillet, Dance of a Crutch, or Breaking Benjamin, because this is slightly heavier than that, but I think you'll still enjoy it. The whole song is written well lyrically, as to be expected of Rookie, but my favorite part is the second verse, which goes, I feel your breathing and pulse. Disease, can't you see the light? Teach it, only I can see it. Why do you watch me with sad eyes? Till the darkness disappears, I write your name in the sky. Surely you should be angry. I understand it. Sorry. Oh, and I gotta mention the coda, which helps paint the grim picture, which is, you was crying over my corpse. I died that day in your chest. You was crying over my corpse. I died. How lovely. Number 11. Until It Burns Out. Arguably from the band's Dark Horse album, The Beautiful Deformity, released in 2013. Now the theme of that album was actually a love story itself, but it's about the band. It was used to describe how all their different personalities and irregularities cause irregularities to be born. Excuse me. Now, the three words that sum up the Gazette perfectly is that title, because they can be beautifully deformed. Something that's both pretty and revolting at the same time. Their ability to cover taboo subjects, their interlude tracks on Dim, how their songs can be so melodic and yet go so hard. You get the idea. Until It Burns is about a love for music and wanting to make music forever. The catchy alternative metal tune does have a sound to a song that would be on the mainstream rock and metal radio station. And I don't know why that song gives me that vibe, but I will say the standout lyric for me is the coda. So as long as I live, this dream will end. Break down the wall, we become one until it burns out. Number 10, Unfinished, the closing track for the band's newest album as of this recording. 9th was dropped last year, and it's an amazing record, by the way. Is a nice, fun rock song. This is another song that has a mainstream rock sound like the last entry to me. This song seems a little bit personal, as when Rookie was starting out, he essentially ran away from home to pursue music. This song is about how the love he got from music never wavered through all these years, and even the band's dark periods that happened throughout their career. Or you can interpret it as a love song with a couple about to get married. That will totally be understandable if you see the song as that way too. My favorite lyrics from the song are the second verse, which reads as I keep putting together the passing days, all my love pours out, and I inject into my heart. The reason why you supported me and why you have faith in me no matter what. In the seasons when I run away, you are the light illuminating my path. Because my heart has been saved by you, so much I can't repay you with words. Number 9, Kagafumi, or Treading on Shadows. About off the band's 2012 release, Division. This is a very calm, very mellow track, even for a ballad. The vocals don't do anything crazy, even with the belting. It just sounds very calm throughout, which is a big contrast with the meaning of the song, which a lot of you will say the story is very similar to the pick for number 13 on this list, which I can't blame you. The song is about two lovers who commit suicide together to be in the afterlife. The title alludes to this, as it's meant to mean that they are chasing each other's shadows. What makes the song different is in the details of the story itself. From our 13 entry, the story is right in the moment when they're about to take their lives, rather than the other entry, which was the full story of everything that happened. The fact that Rookie can craft a great song from a moment that only is 5 seconds long shows how amazing of a lyricist he is. The song has an oddly satisfying at the end, where Rookie's voice is in sync with a female vocalist's voice. One of the many guest appearances from female vocals throughout the band's career is used really well here, and that particular use further symbolizes them being together in the afterlife. I highly recommend this song if you want something calm and relaxing to listen to, regardless of the dark meaning of the song. My favorite lyrics of the song are the coda. Keep on loving me, even this heart that ended up so fragile. The two of us fall while gazing at the light. I am finally overlapping with your shadow. Number 8. Distress and Coma. About off the band's most atmospheric album, Dim. The song has a very dark and dim feel, with every track on Dim with a mix, and why that record's so good. And the song comes with strings to help add a great impact on it is one of Rookie's most emotional performances. This song features some nice female vocals in the intro and the coda. The story is also unique as it shifts from the perspective of the two people in the story. A man, who is referenced to distress in the title of the song, and a woman, who is referenced to coma in the title of the song. The man is by the woman's side, desperately wanting her to wake up. But he did something so traumatizing she can't wake up. It's unclear if he cheated on her, or if he abused, or if he did something way worse. But the point is that she's trapped in her own head. If you need a sad, gloomy, emotional track, this one's for you. And my favorite lyric is the reprise, which is, dance, dance, dance until you fall asleep. The tears don't stop. When my heart lays down, it seems to wither. In the barren dreams, you sing once again. With sadness you tell me, you're by yourself. It's okay to get hurt. Number 7. Chizuru, or translated as 1,000 Cranes. The closing track from 2007, Stacked Rubbish. The song has a very somber tone with the vocal delivery, and like a lot of that album, it has a very 90s feel in the instrumentation, especially in the intro. It features a choir at points to help the song make it feel even more bleak than it already was, and when it fully kicks in as a rock song, it still has a somber tone. Now, the meaning of the song is pretty sad to reflect on that instrumentation, like a lot of the songs on this list. It's about a singer whose girlfriend is in the hospital, and he never gets to say goodbye to her, most likely because he was at a gig when she died. Oh yeah, she dies at the end of the song. The title ties in the meaning of the song. 1,000 Paper Cranes is actually written a different way, but the kanji in the middle, which is supposed to mean wings, is dropped. The 1,000 Paper Cranes are the couple's wishes and dreams to be together, happily and healthy, and their wishes didn't have wings, so they didn't come true. I highly recommend this song if you want a song that sounds like a lot of 1990s rock, even those that love grunge. My favorite lyrics are the coda. I'm going to take a drink real quick. Sorry. And the coda is, the 1,000 wings that are so tiny, they snuggle up to your wish, even without returning your smile. Just that. At the end of your memories, which would count the size, I hear your voice. The morning where everything becomes nothing. The two of us who couldn't become one. Number 6. Raela. Raela is from the EP of the same name that came out shortly after the band's first album, Disorder, and was released in 2005. The song itself is just 10 seconds short of being an 8-minute long acoustic rock and borderline ballad track, making this the longest song in the list by a mile. And it's about a man's girlfriend named Raela who committed suicide. What's really interesting about this song is that it just sounds so personal and emotional, which makes the rumor that it's really based off a real girlfriend of Rookie or one of the band members who killed herself is not really surprising to me. This is also what makes this song extra personal for the Gazette, is they really don't do 5-minute long songs, much less a ballad or a borderline ballad that exceeds that time limit, at least at this point in the band's career. You can correct me if I'm wrong on that, though. But as I said, everything like that story about it being about a real girlfriend is a rumor, so it's not official, so take that with a grain of salt. This will be the kind of broad recommendation for the song, but if you like acoustic guitar, then you should definitely check this out. Like any song that has a focus on that instrument, I think you'd like it. It also, just because it's almost 8 minutes long, does not mean it feels that long. My favorite lyric is the second half of the first verse of the melody. Second half of the first verse and the first melody, which is more than me who was left behind. You who've become nothingness, how painful is it, I wonder, even though nothing has begun yet, even though I have yet to tell you these words, where can I go? Raela, even if I call your name, this voice does not reach you. Raela, open your eyes and tell me with a laugh that this is all a lie. Number 5, Cassis. Cassis is about off the band's sophomore album, Nil, and it's one of the few Gazette songs to feature piano, though it isn't the whole lot, but it's the very well-known iconic major key melody at the start of the song. The song features not 1, but 2 guitar solos. I highly recommend this song for people who are a fan of lovey-dovey songs or ballads or hair metal bands. This song is a simple but sweet message and story about someone who is never going to give up on the romantic partner no matter what. My favorite lyrics are the second verse, which reads as, at least I can forget about all the hard times thinking of you. Counting the number of nights I can't see you, my heart yearns for you. Inviting loneliness of misunderstanding somehow. Please don't cry alone. No matter how far apart we are, let us believe in each other. I want to keep smiling like this no matter what. Please don't let me hurt you. The number of time lapses are fading away. I don't want to repeat these feelings. And that should be let's, not let us. Sorry about that. Number 4, Guren, or translated as the Crimson Lotus. Guren is a ballad from Dim and features some very subtle strings. The instrumentation of the first verse is a lot like the 90s and early 2000s rock and metal bands used, with the whole muted guitar picking. The second verse, the guitars from Aoi and Uha are doing their own thing, and for headphone users, I recommend you use both of them to fully appreciate it. This is one of Ruki's best vocal performances, as it's really melancholy, at the same time feels so grieving and sad. The song's about a mother who loses her baby from a miscarriage, from giving birth to a stillborn baby. The music video for the song brilliantly shows the meaning of the song. I highly suggest watching the music video too. But I'll sum it up as brief as possible. There's a girl moving around with a red dress. In the red room, the red room being the mother's womb, and the girl paints the walls with white paint meant to be sperm. Eventually, the girl's dress becomes white, and the white symbolizes the stillborn baby / miscarriage, because she's only moving around the room when she's in a red dress, when she's in a white dress, and she's not. In fact, she's just standing in the corner, not moving at all, because she died already. So the whole scenario revolves around the death of an embryo. The song, meaning-wise, is the polar opposite from Burial Applicant from an album earlier, with both songs having a similar story, but Burial Applicant's more from the baby's view and how he's pissed at his mother for abandoning him, and kind of plays out like an anti-abortion anthem. My favorite lyric of the song is the reprise and coda. Please don't fade away. I want to hear a tiny sigh and the sound of a small heartbeat. Please let the ungraced prayer reach you. Embracing a name which I cannot call out, counting on my fingers, tomorrow won't disappear. I heard with blocked ears the sound of a broken cradle. The springtime will never come again. The crimson lotus is in bloom. Number 3, Lost Heaven. Another song from Beautiful Deformity. I gotta take another drink. Sorry, this is kind of a long video. I'm kind of shooting in one take, so bear with me. This one is a nice ballad with acoustic guitars though, and the vocals are as calm and peaceful. And he never belts out and he sounds very peaceful with his delivery. The instrumentation also helps to make the song feel inspiring. The song's about Rookie's love for music, and music's something beautiful like stars and the moon and how they light up the darkness, and he wants to be eternal like them. You know what makes the song even more sweet is you can easily apply the song to the same context with the stars and the moon and have it relating to a significant other rather than music. I recommend this song if you're a fan of skillet ballads, if you like Disney songs, or even if you like ending themes in anime. My favorite lyric is a reprise, which is, "Love without shape, changing day by day, close together we became, one shooting star, long road which leads to claim the hill, shining bright on tomorrow, bringing the light, always stay this way, love without shape, changing day by day, time rolls by, let's stay like this, having dreams we cannot reach, long road which leads to claim the hill, I go leaving my sadness behind, good night my beloved, last heaven of mine." Number 2, Pledge. Pledge is about with more piano than any other Gazette song, and is off the album Toxic. This song features some nice soft instrumentation, very prevalent strings to help it add a nice touch. There's even a 30-second spot where it's just the strings, drums, and bass in the middle of the song. The compression on Rookie's voice right before the reprise helps to add a nice emotional touch to the song. The guitar solo is nice and calm, but not a simple one by any means. The song is what a lot of Gazette fans would consider to be their best love song, and so therefore a lot of Gazette fans would consider them to be the number 1 pick of this list, and it's not hard to see why. The meaning of this song is that it's actually the second part of the story that started another song, Untitled, which is another ballad off of Toxic. No, really, the song's called Untitled. And that song, Untitled, is where they break up because the boy or girl didn't love the girl and kept lying to her. Here, the couple gets back together and both pledge, pun intended, to be together forever. Now, it appears to be from the girl's perspective, though you can make the case it's just through both their perspectives, though. My favorite lyrics are the second verse and the second melody. "Embraced by loneliness, free of doubts, I am happy. Light should be known as weak love, yet we fall apart. I don't want to hear a voice filled with lies, which are certainly next to you. Even if I don't need I love you, I needed you here more. I'm sorry for the broken sadness melting into you. The first and last words from you in the song, leaving the two of us in the same dream, side by side." Now, before I reveal my number 1 pick, here are some quick honorable mentions. Calm Envy. This song is a nice, mellow track about a girl breaks up with her boyfriend because he can't stop thinking about his ex. Features some nice R&B vocals. If you like mellow tracks, then this is for you. Untitled. I gave Untitled the honorable mention because I don't want to have... I think giving 2 slots of the same story would be fair. And sharing the same entry would be too long. Pledge to me... is the superior song, but Untitled has some nice ambience, and the ending with the ambient and extremely compressed drums is an earworm for me for sure. Quiet. This song is a B-side from the Fadeless single and the Beautiful Deformity era. The song is about a person who's in the hospital because they are ill, and it's the relationship between them and the loved one. From their view in the hospital. They die at the end of the song. The piano notes and the intro are nice, and if you like ballads, definitely check this one out. And here is my number 1. I know some of you are wondering what is number 1 if all the signature songs that a lot of Gazette fans would consider to be the best love song, like Pledge, for example, is not in my number 1 spot. And I'll explain why in a second. The number 1 Gazette love song Gazette song about love is Required Malfunction. Okay, this song from The Vision is an absolute banger. The fast verse, the crunchy riffs, the drop with that growl, and that catchy chorus just keeps the adrenaline going. It's freaking kick-ass. It's a freaking kick-ass industrial metal track. I know a lot of you are really confused. Why is this #1? Now, look at the title of the list. This isn't top 10 ballads. As you can probably see by me putting a song like Uncertain Sense on the list, but just to remind you. And now I'm going to get into the meaning of the song, which is how we should love our partner regardless of their flaws. You can take this context outside of a romantic relationship and have it be about just how to be friends with people, but this is a song that I think is especially important to relationships. It shows what love is truly like. We live in a society where we put down a person over something we don't like, or even dump them, or just block them off. We as humans are flawed beings. None of us are perfect. That's part of who we are, and that's perfectly okay. Part of our imperfections is what makes us who we are. And if what we see as perfection were to be true for everyone, can you imagine how boring it would be? That would not be human. I will be sure to do another video where I break down the lyrics in depth for this whole song soon, because this whole song is just so brilliantly written, and it definitely warrants its own video. But for here, my favorite lyrics that I picked out are a good chunk of the song, starting from the pre-chorus and stopping at the first half of the bridge. You are mind stability. I am your enormous virus. Sometimes freeze without mixing. Repeated contact damage. But there is not hatred here. Flip side of affection. Gentle deadfall. All this honey trap. Now dive into the hill of repose. The scenery which you wish for. On the other side of this dream, to a world where nobody is. Falling well embraced you deeply. Let's send a song without stains to the innocents without lies, so you can swallow these wounds. And for those reasons, Required Malfunction is the #1 Gazette song about love. And that's my list. What is your favorite Gazette song about love, or a song about centered around a relationship? Let me know in the comments down below. And as always, thank you so much for watching, and have a great day.